What's going on, Franchise Nation? This is David Johnson. I'm an EA Sports game changer, known by the name Mad Scientist. Some of you guys might remember me from my E3 reports and from Game Changers Radio. Got the news about Madden 21. Everybody's disappointed. I'm disappointed too. So let's talk about a couple things because I don't have a lot of time. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? Right? Who to blame? And where we go from there. So, who to blame? One, don't blame the devs, right? Some of the devs are like former game changers and former players, right? They were lucky to get hired. They are as passionate as we are, right? They are handcuffed. They can't do what they are not allowed to do. And all of them want to do more in the game. Let's talk about, that's number one. Blame the suits. I don't know who the suits are. But don't personally attack anybody, right? We got to do this like civil. We got to do this professional. So you can be upset and all those kind of things. You do whatever you have to do. But some of your strategies just not going to work. And I'm saying it as a person, not as a game changer, not as someone associated with EA Sports. So let me tell you this. What are you going to do? I'm prepared not to buy the game. I'm prepared after my Super Bowl tonight, not even to play Madden anymore until I see something in CFM that's worth playing. Here's another thing. Our brothers, sisters in MUT and other modes, join us, because you guys have been disappointed too by some of the things that EA's been doing with regard to the game. Either do this. Have a no play day or no pay day where you don't spend any money on MUT, or a period of time where you don't play MUT, or a period of time where we don't play Madden. What can you pro players do? A lot of you guys have relationships with NFL players, probably relationships that like a CFM player wouldn't have, right? Because you guys do these different events and all these things. Contact them. Tell them contact the commissioner. Tell them about what's going on, right? Tell them that this non-competitive contract might not be working out like they think it is, right? So either they can open it up to all the other different companies and we can have competition that would drive all the games and make them better. But, maybe force them to take a look at things too. So maybe we can get an audience with the commissioner. Some of these NFL players can, go through their agents or something like that. So I like to attack this from different areas. This is just my opinion. Let me jump back a little bit and talk about game changes, right? Some of you guys might blame us. Don't blame us either. I've been a game changer probably over 10 years. Each of those years, we have provided EA with a list of no more than 30 or 40 features that we like to see in the game. Every year, we get one or two. And every year, they add 2 or 3 that we never even suggested. Sometimes these things come down from the suits. We want this in the game. We don't care what people want, what the players want. This is what we want. Somehow they determine that, whatever metrics they use. Most of the time, those features don't even work out. They're not even popular, and you don't see them in the next year. So that's one thing. Blame whoever you want. Don't blame us. We behind the scenes. You don't see the type of discussions. There's some of us that are risking our own membership in the Game Changers to press issues as much as we can. You don't see that. And we're under NDA. So we can't tell you everything that we're doing. But I have some old lists here from 2016 to 2018 that I want to talk a little bit about so you get an idea of some of the things. First of all, everybody knows probably Deuce Douglas. If EA just did that, all the stuff that Deuce came up with, right? But I'm talking about things like that would be excellent right there from the start. But let's talk about some other things, right? Let's talk about the lack of a CFM app for those who played NCA. Dynasty Wire, right? I'm just going to read a couple things that came off some of these wish lists. Customizable player goals, improved stat engine, pro day results, senior performance metric package. So what this is all about scouting, right? And we believe that, well, I believe that every major event in the football life cycle must be represented. So anytime there's a pro day, that should update in scouting. Anytime there's a senior bowl, that information should be in scouting, and somehow you can pay for it to get the information that you want, and that helps you get intel about your players or the players that you want to draft and move from there. So I'm going to apologize because this is going to be random, but I'm just reading this list. Player compensation. That's a big issue too, right? Salaries, restructuring, front loading, back loading, all those kind of things. It's always been an argument about players don't know enough about salary to actually do any of these things. So I came up with an idea. Big decision, right? Use this in the big decision, whatever you call it, feature set mechanic. Big decision salary restructuring. I'm going to read some of this. This is from 2016. This is a suggestion from 2016. The top 1 or 2 players with the highest or bloated salary would be, this could be automated or user initiated, would be selected to enter the salary restructuring phase. Because the entire salary process is extremely complicated, I offer a 3-tier easy method approach. Basically, the game will prompt you via big decision feature, hey, save money by restructuring contracts. So just so we don't go overboard, 1 or 2 players will be selected. Here's a use case. Tom Brady reaches the age of 44. His skills are diminishing, but he still has 3 years on a very lucrative contract. The big decision will ask if you would like to restructure his contract. To make things less complicated, 3 options will be presented. And we could change it. That you want 3, you want 4, you want 2. Each one varies in money saved, right? So there's like an aggressive approach. There's a sort of, regular approach. And then there's sort of a conservative approach, right? Each one of those approaches saves your team X amount of money, right? The more aggressive, the more money. Each option will be assigned a savings total. The risk-reward aspect is Tom might not bite for an aggressive restructuring. His morale might be affected, and he may hold out or retire. For those that want to go deeper, each of the 3 options could be customized via drop-down menus based on salary-related features. So basically, each of these 3 options would contain a package of provisions you could alter within acceptable parameters, right? Scouting. I look at scouting as an expert system, and these are just all my opinions. I envision every week the coach meets with assistant coaches, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, trainer, scouter, and they give him intel. This intel is gathered through artificial intelligence or by way of an expert system where the game CPU goes out and pulls information from the scouting and from performance on the field, and you'll get intel from offensive coordinator, like what's working, what run plays are working, those kind of things, and then you'll make decisions that way. Almost vision it like a Mass Effect type of system where they give you intel and then you give them directives, right? This can be as detailed as you want, and for those that don't have time, it can run autonomously once you set it up. So there's always been an issue about how much time people have to invest, and then also we want it to be very deep, but some people don't want to invest time. So we'll make the system so that you can do either one that you want, and you can set it and forget it. Progressive fatigue, progressive injuries, like these kind of things are in head coach, right? To be able to coax a player out of retirement. Custom coaches. Mutt has custom coaches. Create a team, like NCAA football. Remember that? Let's see. We want to front load, back load, salary. We talked a little bit about that. Right now, progression and regression is based on like stat incentive, right? So what this paradigm is saying is that players get better because they perform better. But that's not realistic, right? And as my boy Hollywood always says, the CFM is the ultimate NFL simulation. It should be. Right now it's not, and we like to get it that way. Custom scheduling, team relocating. This is all random. This isn't in order of importance. I just jotted down some of these things. Mutt has all these crazy uniforms. I would love to just put black pants on one of my teams, right? But they have all these different uniforms, right? Initially, we were told that the NFL does not allow any changes to the uniforms. Why would they even? Anyway, even if that was, somehow it doesn't apply to Mutt because they have all these uniforms. So why can't we design our own uniforms? Mutt has weekly content. Why can't we have weekly content? Can we do that? Yes, we can. Custom camera angles, that's not like a CFM thing, but multiplayer franchises, they're a group of people that want to play one franchise. Like multiple people take over one franchise and do different things in the franchise. Back in the day, Madden PC, the franchise ran on servers that came on the disk. So you could set up your own computer to be a server, and you had to worry about lag and anything like that because it was just run on your server, and anybody in the league would connect to your server and play the game. Of course, Super Bowl updates. Let me go to this next page here. The CFM app. In the app, people want to be able to trade, sign free agents, view, sign, and manage practice squad. One of my ideas was O-line chemistry. So the more veteran O-line players you have, you get like a boost. And so you get rewarded from players that have played together over time, and the game measures that. So like I said, some of these things were from 2016 and 2018. Create a team, stadium designers. So once again, we've created these lists from going out in the community and pulling as much content as we could find from Operation Sports, EA forums, wish lists, YouTubers, Deuce Douglas, even before Deuce Douglas. And our changes have not been implemented. And every year they tell us they ran out of time, or they'll get it next year, or they're working on it. There's one excuse after the other one, and now this. So, like I said, the last time I've seen a low like this is moving from one console to the other console, and they couldn't do CFM because they had to design it from scratch, and they couldn't port it over for some reason because of the new system. So I'm not sure if that is the reason for this or not. I don't know. But we've been trying to push for more change, and we've gotten a string of broken promises every year. So what can you do? Boycott. If you're Mutt, just keep your just keep listening. Keep the hashtag going, but make it more than the hashtag. So anyway, I don't want to keep y'all long, but there are tons of ideas that I haven't even mentioned. But we've been pressing from our end. You haven't seen anything. You could blame us if you want, but it's not really us. It's not the devs. It's the suits. So we can do some things. We can hit them in the pockets. But keep the hashtag going, and look out for a global town hall. I think we need to get together on Twitter or on Blog Talk and talk about this and hear from the community. So anyway, more later. Keep the faith. It's your boy, Mad Scientist. Yo, I don't even know what to say. I'm out.